Welcome everybody to another edition of the first week of the second month of the joust. That's correct. We have here in the color red, it is PatDelMuerte, a repeat participant from last month. Finished well into the mid-table. Very solid performances overall, I think. Goes in with Delhi, very old school matchup this one. And it opens up Mosque Mill House, so it's like normal. This is very standard gameplay. Love to see it. On the other side, it is Lewis with the English. Lewis, a new participant. Can't wait to see what he's got going. Yeah, so as the English, there are basically two openers, right? You have the regular opener, which is the one Lewis is doing, and you have the Farms opener, which is a little bit slower getting into Feudal Age, but it is much faster late in Feudal Age and into the rest of the game. So I do expect to either see a very fast second town center here, or a actual aggression. Very dangerous though for English to try to be very aggressive. It all depends on how well the Delhi player deals with the spears, of course, because the Ghazi Raiders, they will not die to the longbows. Also, another thing to note, there are way more sheep around the town centers and less on the map. I think it's to make games not end because you didn't get your sheep. It's basically it. But, still makes collecting sheep worth it, especially if you're Delhi and you want to go into farms as late as possible, right? With English, sometimes you start going into farms and you still have a lot of sheep left. But yeah, Pat here, only two sheep in the lead. This is not crazy. Looking into the maps here, English is just like, this one was a little bit far away. But the gold and the berries are just prime position here. On the other hand, Pat, like, this gold is terrible for him. If Lois scouts this, he can send the longbowman over here and deny that. The berries are pretty good, the stone is great. And at least I expect to see a couple of keeps deep into Castle Age. We are gonna get Abbey of the Kings, and already going for wood in the lumber camp, not even taking the straggler trees. Yeah, the king is gonna be used for harassing. I wonder, this could be a fast castle as well. Oh, look at that! Using the trick, the town center trick here to get the workers going in faster. Loads of workers on wood here. Abbey of the King's not Council Hall, so I'd expect the insane aggression we would otherwise. Anyway, we're done with the faith for Pat. So going for a more tech-based approach, the timing is going to be a little bit later than it would have been with the Tower of Victory, which absolutely makes spears and archers absolutely ridiculous, by the way. But you're gonna have a lot more scholars all around. Your tech is gonna get not created, but research faster. That's the word I'm looking for. And for Pat, that means that the late in Feudal Age, like the point at which the techs come in, it's gonna be so strong. And don't forget, the Delhi economy is always weaker at the start of an age, but it gets so much better as the age goes on. And look at that! Lewis with 17 sheep overtakes Pat here at the end of this stage of the game. I do think that's all of the sheep, but either way, let's see what Lewis is doing with barracks! Going in with barracks, so maybe I was wrong about the lack of aggression here for Lewis. He is gonna set up barracks. He does have the Abbey of the Kings. Abbey of the Kings, a pretty good landmark recently. You can use it very aggressively or a little bit defensively sometimes. By having the passive healing when you're not getting harassed, and then like you get the king to help defend. So Pat here with the sex. Let me see the order which you researched. Pro Scouts first. Pro Scouts first is a bold move. I think it's a decent move. Doesn't quite have the gold to make another scholar from the Dome of the Faith. That's definitely strange. Yeah, stops making piety, makes Sanctity first. This is just makes a ton of sense. We're making a Ghazi Raider, but not setting the waypoint. That's... It's not really a mistake, it's just a bit sloppy. Lewis here with the 2 spears. Where are they? Are they in the gold? Yeah, they're gonna be in the gold. So Ghazi Raiders are not gonna be allowed to raid that gold. And Lewis here is still with a lot of villagers on wood, but none on stone, so he could now start making longbowmen? You know, going into a stable is very unorthodox from Lewis. But it is a calculated strategy. Oh, there we go. Ghazi Raiders are actually, like, they're not awful against the king. They obviously lose to the king. They're just the worst units overall. They're not awful against the king. They have that bonus damage. They have okay stats. Yeah, in the 3-to-1 setting, obviously, you're gonna win. Scout of Bat coming back. A little bit. Bat needs to scout here. He needs to notice the stable. Let me see if he sees it. He sees the stable. All right. Sees the stable. I'd like to see this get utilized. Melee armor or melee attack would actually be quite powerful here. So this is going Spears Horseman, and I like Spears Horseman. It should force Pat into either a similar comp or going into Archers. Archers, though, Knight Archer loses to Horseman Spear, so I expect the Ghazi Raider Archer to also lose. This is Delhi. Delhi can make so many units. Oh, the king is dead! That could actually be quite massive. Lewis, though, yeah, he does not want to use these 2 spears, and I fully agree with him. Yeah, but no, Pat, alright, Pat is making archers indeed. He needs to have overwhelming numbers here. Pat cannot win this fight on equal resources. The spears will just melt through the Ghazi Raiders. And the archers won't have time to dwindle down the numbers, unless Pat has insane micro. Like, we're talking like top 10 players level of micro. They might get away with it. Pat shouldn't. No offense there, mate. But, like, Lewis looking at his base, yeah, he's just adding houses. He's not adding more structures, as he's adding more villagers. And what I see here is that Lewis doesn't really want to extend feudal too long. Fully knowing that he's gonna have to fight here, otherwise Pat will just absolutely destroy him. Oh, Lewis? Yeah, not enough army here. On the other hand, yeah, Lewis can just go and raid. There are workers here that are ripe for the taking, and it's an archer here. It is an archer defending the horseman. Well, let's see where the units actually go. I don't know. I don't know, if Lewis catches the scholars, this can be really bad. Scholars are still expensive, they cost 80? 80, right? 80 gold apiece. They do cost 80 gold apiece. And we have the scholar getting into that sacred site, and that is an expensive trade. And I don't think Pat can save them. Alright, Pat not coming here. I think a raid has happened and I missed it, so that's my bad. But there are spears out there on the board. Lewis playing this one very, very well. We still have a very even game, but Lewis making nothing but spears. Making horsemen now. But very uneven count here. So if you don't have enough spears to deal with the Ghazi Raiders, yeah, then the Ghazi Raiders are a little bit stronger than your horsemen. They have more attack. They're gonna get upgraded because, as I said before, if we get here into Pat... No, he doesn't have blacksmiths! Aw, he should have made 2 blacksmiths already, and he has the wood for it. I know he's trying to age up. It's fair play to him, it's a good play. Where's the scholar going? He notices, yeah, that was just a slight misclick. So, seeing still, like, Pat has a few more units. Yeah, but he is taking in deer. Don't forget now that the deer decay after being in at the back of the scouts. That was the attempt to balance out professional scouts, because it was starting to get a little bit annoying and ridiculous just how pervasive professional scouts was. Lewis here floating a little bit of gold. I'd like to see another blacksmith upgrade for him. I know he is getting bloomery, so increasing the melee damage of everybody. He's gonna need ranged armor here. But yeah, horsemen, though, they are very fast, and you really want them to be very fast against these Ghazi Raiders. But now is where the fight turns, because you have so many spears. Yeah, Pat just taking the W here, taking the win. Retreating. Pat could actually raid this. Lewis is being a little dangerous. I don't think he's being too dangerous. He's being regularly dangerous. Oh, big meetup here at the center of the map. What is this quick wall? I actually think, like, Lewis can win this, but Pat's army can actually... Pat Spearman can actually beat a death here, but the horsemen were at a choke point. Sorry, the archers were at choke point, and that actually makes a world of difference. Oh, this is actually a good fight for Pat. He hasn't sacrificed any of his Ghazi Raiders. And yeah, look at that. The horsemen of Lewis are absolutely shredded. But now we're getting into Vanguard Men-at-Arms. Yeah, he's getting into Men-at-Arms here. So Lewis trying to spend that gold. He can age up. And I expect to see the White Tower dropped somewhere. Don't know exactly where the best location would be, because here would be very temporary. There's not even... Like, here you can protect the gold, but it's too far away from the food. Drops it there anyway, but there's so many Ghazi Raiders. Yeah, Pat's gonna try to do some stop micro. Yeah, gets one worker. That's first worker kill of the game, by the way. Oh, Pat has to escape, he can't fight, he can't even try to just get a kill. And that's quite beautifully executed. And as long as, like, Pat starts dwindling down these spearman numbers... Like, there's no back row for Lewis, so you can't just get your Ghazi Raiders around the spears. What you need to do, though, is protect your archers. That's exactly what he's done there with the spears. That was a great fight for Pat. Lewis down the count so much. We have a House of Learning here on the other side. So placed in the front of the base, it's whatever, doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, Pat played this one beautifully thus far, and he has a sizable advantage heading into Castle Age. And again, that timing, as soon as these units get upgraded, that timing is going to be so massive. Castle Age Ghazi Raiders are a bit of a force. But there's a White Tower here, and this White Tower is not poorly positioned. It's not the greatest White Tower of all time. It was placed a little bit... for Lewis, it was short-term thinking. He wants to protect these deer. And that's actually quite fair, because these deer are going to be very important to him. But, doesn't protect the farms, doesn't attack, so in the long term, Lewis has to find ways to get that advantage in other ways. On the other hand, for Pat, I expect in a little bit, should be able to get some stone, start making those keeps. Those keeps allow him to create extra villagers. The Delhi will just... either that or elephants. Elephants, well, he has made a single knight, and he's starting to make crossbowmen. Fully expecting the Men-at-Arms flood here. Lewis is making springles. Yeah, and he's upgrading the spears. Looking at these upgrades, armor clad is just such a good upgrade. Makes these spearmen so tough to deal with. Showing the Springled might not be the best of ideas. The Springled, though, is a very good unit. Yeah, this 15 damage, plus 12 versus melee infantry, so against those spears and men-at-arms, it's going to be absolutely devastating. Is a slight bit of a lie, because it pierces units. So it's even better than that. Yeah, building this with archers is interesting because of this little dynamic. Yeah, lacking the sacred site, Pat wants sacred sites for gold more than necessarily for getting the timer going. That is very fair these year. Oh, there's a scholar, there's a lancer in this year. I think it was protecting the scouts. Ooh, the scout's gonna die. Oh, it's gonna be such an ugly realization when he sees the spears, and there we go. All of it was shift quick. It's a scout. It's not gonna be the end of the world. But we have tanky men-at-arms. We're gonna have really decent archers. Oh, there. Oh, and Pat collecting the relics. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty good. I want to see. Yeah, relic placed at the Dome of the Faith. It's gold is just so important for everybody, Deli included. Oh, Lewis trying to take deer and Pat trying to steal the deer. Yeah, Pat has to. Lewis has to start defending, and Lewis has to start to making units here. These men-at-arms, if he gets armor-clad, which I don't see him upgrading it. They need armor-clad. They need to get so that they would get to 6 armor right now. 6 armor is so huge, especially against the archers. Like a third damage right there that they're gonna deal. Right now they're not. They might be strong enough to deal a lot of damage here. No, there are men-at-arms here from Pat. Men-at-arms should have enough of a punch. Do something in the horde. The Ghazi Raiders are in the wood line. That's 2 extra villagers killed. There was 1 killed before at a deer patch. That's great raiding all around here from Pat. When Lewis with an already slightly smaller economy than Pat because of the raid, and with it all stalled, it's just not looking good. He needs to get that economy going. He needs to get his units going. Oh, he didn't even have the Castle Age upgrade. Oh, yeah, Lewis. Yeah, missing out a lot of his upgrades. He has the resources to really get a lot of men-at-arms going. He has a lot of food. He doesn't quite seem to have the upgrades or the awareness. He started this game off really well. Now it's just these slight mistakes. Yeah, these spears. There are no elephants here. It's mostly men-at-arms. These spears are not going to do much. There's even a trebuchet. Trebuchet isn't really the only decent way to deal with the White Tower, right? It's just if you go into your land units, it's just too much. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! What caused this hole? Did Lewis destroy that small patch of palisade there? So we have a little bit of time. As Pat is consolidating his gameplay, really good of Pat here to take his W's and not try to go free game before being in a very advantageous position. Yeah, here loses a Ghazi Raider, nothing too insane. Yeah, but Lewis getting into these farms, I like it. I would like to see as well the upgrades. It doesn't have a... Yeah, he has the wood upgrade, but doesn't have any of the other eco upgrades, especially wheelbarrows is so important. Yeah, took the deer in the board, didn't get survival techniques. So definitely lacking the upgrades department. What is the king doing here? The king is needed in the fight, man. The king needs to be there, leading his people. Alright, we have a trap. I think Pat is waiting for the other trap, yeah, to get in there. A Stricklinger trap is not really a good play. Yeah, single Lancer raiding. This is so annoying to deal with. Yeah, look at the army value count. It's 3,200 for Lewis and 13,000 for Pat. So it's pretty sizable army. And yeah, I want to just keep in mind the tournament is being played less than a week after that patch in midweek. And less than 2 weeks after the Jin Dynasty got released, so that DLC, that also reworked how infantry worked. So infantry got a slight buff, cavalry got a slight nerf. Infantry should be a little bit better, especially bracing. Got a major upgrade. Alright, Lewis walling up. I definitely like this wall. As soon as these Ghazi Raiders die, so this relic is now off limits. I don't think Pat will ever get this relic. But also, there's access to a lot of resources here. There's 2 patches of berries, there's a gold. Gold, by the way, only 700 in the bank, and Lewis is gonna need a lot of gold. Lewis is coming in with knights. Lewis just needs to spend men-at-arms. Men-at-arms and horsemen to spend his food here. To spend that wood as well. Making farms, so... Pat here with a massive army? Just is waiting. This is waiting for the White Tower to go down. He's doing these little raids, which are so annoying. Another trab. There's now going to be 3 trabs trapping down this White Tower. It's getting repaired, but 3 workers enough. But more than 3 workers, and you're going to spend a lot of resources repairing it. Alright, we also have 10 workers on stone, so a keep is in the way. Yeah, I don't know. Lewis can realistically fight this. It just... His economy just was never really any good without the upgrades. That you really needed as well. I'm not talking here. Yeah, so... Yeah, this Springbolts, though, they should do stuff. Now look at those arrows piercing, but it's so many units. Yeah, the king is the first one to go down. Yeah, Pat... I want him to micro the tower elephants. Yeah, or you don't have to. That's whatever. And yeah, Lewis taps out. So that's game number 1 going in the way of Pat. And it's felt pretty one-sided late here, but the early feudal was very interesting. There we go. Pat up 1-0, playing here in the Scion as the Holy Roman Empire. And what a spawn here with the gold and the stone. It's only going to need 1 mining camp. For those of you that are just extremely interested in optimization, like you guys are just 7th heaven right now, I imagine. On the other side in the orange, it is Lewis, is the House of Lancaster. Remember, you can't repeat civs you won with. So Pat cannot play as the Delhi Sultanate again for the series. So if Lewis ends up winning this one, Lewis can play with the House of Lancaster. Pat will not be able to play Delhi in Game 3 as well. We have land mega random here. We're going through the map in a second. I just want to get a... Yeah, House of Lancaster has much more simple openings than English. Because they really need those manors. Without the manors, they're nothing. And the manors have been nerfed to the ground already. On the other hand, Pat as the HRE is kind of known within the Great Para Discord as someone who has that... He's got those 2 strategies in his sleeve, right? You can go with the horsemen with all pikes and just start raiding. Or you can do your fast castle into men-at-arms, Landsknecht spam. And he's good. Alright, so let's look into the map here. So we have these 2 trade posts in the corners. Very, very interesting. We have a lot of mountains in weird locations, as you expect from Land Banger Random. You have this one here. This mountain here is the most interesting, because there are these deer. And placing a mill here is going to be strange. This is clear that... I don't even know how you access these ones. I think that's a gap. I'd be able to get to them anyway. Like this is some whack stuff. This boar you can get. This is enough space to fit a mill in. With also a lot of these merchant points. A lot of these... A lot of these points of interest. Some gold scattered around the center of the map here. What's more important, you have a large gold here at the top, and the large gold here center, bottom, kinda? the center of the map, and there's plenty of wood, especially here on the outside. Of course, players need to scout for all of this, and I'm already excited about this game, because we're going to get a Mindrick Palace on one side, and we're going to get the Abbey of Kings on the other, and yeah, this Abbey of Kings, instead of spawning the king, spawns the Lord of Lancasters. I think it spawns one for free. So usually done kind of the same way that you would with English, right? It's kind of used to regress, but then they really become part of the army. And you don't want to lose them. So when Lewis is already on the stone, this is to get those banners out. Banners being very important. They are a huge part of the House of Lancaster economy, otherwise they have nothing. Yeah, Lewis needs to get these into the town center, otherwise the workers will get them. And as we see here, Pat is building the Mindrick Palace. He should try to be getting some wood here in the straggler trees. He's going to be building... I expect a stable, because getting all pikes is really a trademark of him. All pikes is a unique attack that you can only get with a Mindrick Palace. That increases the attacks of spearmen, and more importantly for us here, horsemen by +2, which enables 4 horsemen to double shoot a worker instead of needing 5 horsemen to do so. Also makes them very strong later on in combat. On the House of Lancaster, I don't really know what other strategy you can do other than just try to survive with your yeoman archers. That's gonna be about it. Nobody taking these points of interest. What does the wolf then do? Oh, it spawns wolves. You can destroy it as well. Alright, we're getting that stable in the house. Yeah, getting loads of stone, getting loads of wood as well. Could be multiple TCs here. Lost Ronin. I haven't seen this point of interest yet. You can hire Ronin. It costs gold. Oh, that's crazy. These points of interest, they can be very interesting. Can also be just... Yeah, there we go. There's all pikes. And there you go. Those horsemen are going to be with 11 attack. Yeah, there we go. There's the Lord of Lancaster. Yeah, but Lewis should know about the horseman, right? So he should be at least in a position where he can defend himself. Oh yeah, we have the prelates here. Doing everybody. This is a very academic game from Pat. As of right now. Oh, accidentally getting the Forgotten Ruins. Spawns a relic eventually. Where's the Lord of Lancaster goes? Or going, I should say. So let's see. I'm gonna try to get the abandoned outpost. Wow, he's trying to get one of these points of interest, but Pat is just outpacing the Lord of Lancaster. And yeah, this is gonna be a second town center. Very conservative. Could have done it by these berries, but it could also be attacked by the horsemen. So I like it. I like the position here. Alright, should get a manor now. I don't know. I don't remember how much a manor costs. It costs 100 stone. There's enough stone for a lot of manor here. Could actually go for a third TC. Third TC would be very interesting. But would be himself giving it could be giving himself like the largest chance. Oh, is Pat gonna try to get the wolf then? Oh, he is! Let's go! Let's get the wolves. This wolf then grants 50 gold to who burns. And then 15 per pack of wolves. There you go, there's more wolves. Yeah, they spawn at 70 and 30% health. Oh, Pat really wanted to save that horseman. Yeah, now sends him back to a prelate, he's healed to full health. This is perfect play. And there's the third town center. Third town center, House of Lancaster. I'm sure it's been done before, but I don't quite remember any games for this. But should be very powerful if Pat lets Lewis boom here. But Pat has horsemen with all pikes, so he could just start raiding here. Alright, maybe the wolves are a little bit too much. The scout has died. Oh, and the horseman has died as well. So wolves MVP here, from a wolf den. Not... way too many wolves. Alright, Pat can send them forward. Pat on 3 wolves. Actually, more wolves died. Yeah, the wolf den is down. Loads of gold for Pat, just for that. A little bit of work. And we're getting a Burgrave Palace. Burgrave well here in the back. Yeah, so just gonna spam units now because he... Yeah, but he's gonna have such a good timing here. Lewis is not gonna be prepared for this. Lewis is trying to go to Castle Age. This is so greedy from Lewis. So unreal. And this gold is extremely exposed as well. There isn't even a tower here. There is a single manor. Single manor that I really like. Not sure more manors would have equaled a lot more resources, but he's gonna run out of sheep quite soon. Alright, let's see what Pat can do here with the horseman. I've been waiting the whole game to see the raid here. So Pat is going to be with a slightly worse economy. As you can see here by the per minutes. Yeah, Lewis with a ton of food per minute. Even though he's going to come to the crashing realization that it might not be enough. But there is a white tower, very forward white tower, kind of away from the economy. Very raidable base. If this white tower were here instead, or even here, would defend much better, but this is going to defend well later when Lewis needs to expand. And this is going to be prime real estate. Oh, these horsemen are going to be so powerful at raiding here, and there you go. Just, yeah, Lewis aged up just now. Already lost a worker. That's an Earl's Guard. These are very powerful units. They're the Men-at-Arms replacements. No, for the House of Lancaster! And Pat is going to throw away so many... Like, he's going to throw away horsemen. There's so many units being thrown away here. Alright, Pat's going to collect the relics. He should know where some of them are by now. Yes, picking them up. Very, very, very nice. This one is the last relic in the game, I feel like. Yeah, already has 2 in hand. Oh, walling and then getting resources away from the walls? This is... I don't know about this, and Pat has shown his intention to raid. He hasn't shown yet his intention to just come at you with Men-at-Arms, even though, yeah, expecting Men-at-Arms not really a wild thing, is it? So I think, yeah, Pat has 2+1. Where is the last relic? Ah, maybe they're just for... Oh, wait. Yeah, that's 3 relics? This is the 4th relic. Alright, so either way, yeah, Lewis only had 63 villagers. Yeah, some idle time. He could be at like 70 already. Yeah, going... Yeah, crossbowmen and spears. I don't know about the spears. He has a lot of gold, but food is really what he lacks. burn through all those sheep pretty quickly here. Wow, Pat seems to be content with just taking over all of the objectives and the relics. Which in a map like this that has spawned a ton of objectives, this is not awful. Gonna have such an economic advantage, it's gonna be so hard to come back and play here. So Cistercian Abbeys, so this upgrade means that prelates can be... So basically, monasteries will act as the... what's the Jaren Chapel? Almost forgot the name there. Ooh, this army not going to be enough to stop the men-at-arms, but especially the Landsknecht. The Landsknecht is insane. And Lewis needs to be able to stop them, because if you're going melee units, Landsknecht are going to be very, very powerful. What? Oh, but no, the Landsknecht is attacking that the tower. This is not good. Oh, Pat intercepting with the horsemen. Ooh, these horsemen are about to die, all of them? Yeah, that was a little bit Penny Hill from Pat. He should have won that fight hands down, but attacking the tower and just losing the horsemen like that was not perfect. Yeah, but either way, Pat with an amazing advantage here. Even though Lewis is booming hard here. Lewis is booming hard, and when our opponent booms hard like this, and after they start getting farms, yeah, Lewis can take that again. But once they start getting farms again, it becomes very... can become quite unstoppable. On the other hand, we have a siege, triple siege workshop, which means we're gonna have those fancy sprinkles, which absolutely spreads the kind of army composition Pat is going for here. They are somewhat weak against archers, really, really weak against horsemen. They are really good against melee infantry. Right, so Pat about to run out of gold there. Pat has so much map control. What is that farm? Like, this farm is like right around the monastery, I get that. This farm is weird. Alright, second monastery. It should be inspiring, right? What is nearby? Alright, nearby is that tiny little circle there. So, yeah, enough to inspire the farms. That's pretty good. Still with the army here outside the base, and you can see Lewis is massing loads of units here. So Lewis coming back. He has been allowed to boom, which is absolutely granting him the opportunity. I was getting him the opportunity to just get loads of units out. I really don't know about the spears. I'm pretty sure Lewis here is scared of horsemen, but spears are wasted resources here. Alright, Lewis is taking the deer over here. What the hell is this mountain? Lewis could take the boar here too. This is not the bad wall to make. Especially since this is now the other area you can get around from to raid. But again, like, Lewis is taking resources outside of his walls, and like, players don't do this for a reason here. So, also as well, I want to comment on how army count can be a bit of a lie. Army value is a much more realistic take on what units you have, and that's where Lewis's army really shines with those Springles and the Lords of Lancaster as well. They are very expensive and they buff the army. They also only count as one unit, so adding more barracks, I like that. He's making spears even. Yeah, I don't know if he wants to spend that much gold, to be honest. Yeah, I'll hold my judgment on the spears until I see them get destroyed by the Landsknecht here. You have seen no intentions of Pat to really mass a lot of knights, and the horsemen are very beatable by the army that you have here. Yeah, Pat getting these ruins will spawn a relic after 6 minutes. Getting stone first. That's strange design. I don't mind the design, but it is strange. Alright, Matt getting the sacred sites, getting the timer down. I like it. Forcing Lewis here to do something. Lewis, though, no intentions of being the one to attack. Yeah, but Pat also, I don't think he can push this. He could be able to push this side and pushes Lewis away from this gold. Lewis has that gold, which is not taking, and that's smart. You want your safe resources to be safe later on in the game as well. You're taking what you can in the unsafe areas first, and as soon as Pat really establishes the map control and forces you to retreat, then you can retreat back to your safe resources. So now you have all of the sacred sites going down. Oh, you can see the collected resources. It's actually really, really close, despite the double economy of Lewis in terms of villager count. But don't forget that Pat has a lot of workers inspired by the monasteries. He also has, I think it's still 4 relics. 4 relics, so 319 gold per minute. It's more than a third of his total gold per minute. And he actually has worse upgrades. Yeah, but he also has all of the points of interest around the map. Ooh, Pat here, this is a good Reckonance party, especially with Scout here. Oh, making loads of Rams. Rams are a bit of a, win more unit. They could tank some shots here by the crossbowmen. I don't think that will happen, but it could happen. Or force, or try to, goat Lewis into trying to hit them. Oh, going around, maybe trying to catch this side. Lewis was kind of smart here, getting 5 workers and the tower, so they can all garrison. I think Pat is going to see the missed opportunities to raid. This is very raidable. And you have full access to the side here of the map. And he would have forced Lewis to move his army around, which is... It's a skill check. And good players move enough units. Bad players move all of their armies. Cue me. Alright, so now Pat is in the army. He needs to move. There we go. Oh, and look at that. All the spears just get absolutely obliterated instantly. But the Springled, so many of them. Wow, and there are no spears here to face the horsemen. He made all of those spears. And they aren't going to be a factor. And... yeah, wow, the crossbowmen are also getting hit by the Landsknecht. Oh, that was insane. Now a keep here from Lewis, but in the face of Pat's army? Oh, Pat just eliminated that army much faster than I expected. That was a good flanking maneuver by the horsemen. Horsemen with all of the upgrades and all pikes can be a scary proposition. This white tower, though, I wouldn't stay here for too long. Yeah, we have healing and we have overwhelming numbers, but still. Lewis has been moving on 3 TC. He has the economy. He just now needs to get the right units here, but I don't know which units are the right units for Lewis. Alright, the wall doing good. Fulfilling its purpose, but in a very weird way. Keeping your Pat's units in while you go out and get to safety. That's strange. Yeah, Pat in the meantime burning stuff, not really allowing Lewis to get his army down. Oh, but there we go. There's a relic for Lewis. Yeah, I'm guessing there was a point of interest that he took. Is he gonna try to get a Wololo? He might try to get a Wololo. You can't Wololo siege. That's something we learned last week. There we go. Pat's about to start raiding, and let's pay attention here to the worker kills. Oh, he doesn't even get the opportunity to do the Wololo. Oh, Landsknecht are just so good. They are one of the best units in the game, and Pat steals the relic. Pat steals the relic and runs away with all of the prelates. I don't know about that, but stealing the relic was actually really fun. Funny moment here. So what's the herbalist up to? Oh, heals everyone nearby. Might be the weirdest point of interest in the game. I don't know about worst, because those points of interest are supposed to be okay, but not really great. Because I don't think they want players to win or lose games based off of the points of interest. But they do offer quirky advantages here. That's 40 workers down, and substantial amount of the economy is stalled, and that's going to be the series going in for Pat. What a big fight with, yeah, even numbers, but those Landsknecht hitting the spears first really hurt.